Yes sir, welcome back y'all to the Neighborhood Book Club. I appreciate y'all. I am your host Zoe Moss. Today we are in part 5 of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and this will be the final cut of our Rich Dad Poor Dad segment, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and drop these knowledge nuggets on you. But before we get into that, make sure you like the video, you understand me? Go ahead and subscribe for your boy, alright? And lastly, but not least, share it. Each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? Spread the knowledge around for all your loved ones, alright? And we're gonna go ahead and get into it right now. Get your pad, get your pen, let's get down to business. Now, lesson 1 is that even if you are financially literate, even if you have the knowledge, even if you have the wisdom and what have you, there are still roadblocks to becoming financially independent. And these are those 5 roadblocks, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and list them off to you first, and we'll go ahead and break down each one. 1 is fear. 2 is doubt or being untrusting. 3 is being lazy. 4 is having bad habits. And 5 is your arrogance, okay? Now, we're going to start with fear. We're going to break down fear mindset, all right? And so when someone is fearful, oftentimes in this business, while we are trying to obtain finances, right, we are fearful of losing them, okay? But again, we had kind of talked about it before. All those who are champions have lost at some time, and losing in these small situations or in these predicaments tell you who you are on a grander scale, okay? How you handle your losses tells you a lot about your character and who you are. Robert made a reference and he said that we should be focused before we try to be balanced, okay? And so he gave the analogy of a baby walking or kids trying to ride a bike. You find that there's a lot of focus in your startup, okay? There's a lot of focus in your beginning, more so than having a baby walking perfectly, you know. There's a lot of focus in them trying to stand, taking individual steps, and eventually in time they get their rhythm. The same way as someone riding a bike, you know, pedal after another, pedaling fast enough, you know, being able to steer, so on and so forth. And so you have to be patient and you have to maintain a great attitude. You know, your attitude can take you a long way, and it can draw a lot of people that want to help you. A bad attitude can send a lot of people running, okay? When it comes to your doubt, to your being distrustful, Robert used the concept of Chicken Little. The concept is that the sky is falling. A lot of people walk out and they hear news and they hear, you know, see what's on their phone, and they hear what this random person's talking about and their coworker and this, that, the third, and it just feels like the world is falling apart. All propagandas, all outside voices, we have to be able to tune those things out. We can't fall for everything that's being said. All right, what's more important is about what you're saying to yourself in your head. There's a lot of fear and doubt stirred up out there that really isn't real, that really isn't the truth. Check any fear that you have, because the unchecked fear creates distrust. And the concept is people that are chicken littles often aren't doing too well. They're taking on what everyone else says. All the chickens and hens, they all cawing and crowing. And that's a loser's mindset, okay? A hawk goes solo dolo, all right? So I'm gonna leave you with this concept. Losers criticize, winners analyze their situations. Don't let any doubts, don't let any fears close your mind. On the opposite side of that fear is opportunity. Now we go into laziness, okay? Laziness. I can't lie, I've been lazy at some point. I'm sure other people will be lazy. Best way to get over said laziness is to have a little bit of greed. Not too much, but a little bit of greed, right? We have to ask when we're doing things, what's in it for me? It's important to pay self. One of the concepts earlier was pay yourself first. And so I think that what Robert's trying to pull from this concept is, again, that mentality or that thought process of, you know, what's in it for me? Can I pay myself first? And so having a little bit, gaining a little bit in the situation is fine. And being too greedy can create guilt. The spirit is extremely capable. And so we cannot make mental excuses for the spirit while being lazy. Your spirit is one of the most powerful things, if not the most powerful thing out in this world. You are connected and tapped in with the great divine. Never question it, never doubt it, okay? The reality is, because you are connected with the great divine, if you thought about it or you felt it, it's because it's in you to do so. It's because you were drawn to it. It's radiating to you. It's calling to you, and vice versa. It makes me think of a Denzel speech. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a clip of that.
I'll say it again. True desire in the heart, that itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire, that itch, that's God's proof to you, sent beforehand already to indicate that it's yours. And anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference.
So there it is right there. Instead of saying you can't, be sure to ask yourself how you can. Leave your mind open to the question and allow your mind to be free and wander and search for a solution. And thus, afterward, go about acting on them. Bad habits onto bad habits, all right? We've been taught bad financial habits, right? We taught various bad habits, but in this case, financial habits, and really, we have to learn to pay ourselves first. This makes you mentally and financially stronger, okay? And so from there, Robert insists on, instead of paying bill collectors, government, and everybody else first, and giving yourself the short end of the stick, hang on and pay yourself first. Love yourself first. Work in your mind other ways to pay them. You know, you're strengthening yourself. You're building muscles mentally. There's a pressure to execute properly to pay those bills. And so your mind will start to work on ways to fulfill that and get those jobs done. Never suggesting that anyone pays their bills late or not pay them at all. One of the last pieces where he was saying things that can stop you when you are financially literate but not yet financially independent. Arrogance, okay? Being arrogant can lose you a lot of money. Arrogance is a killer, and I gotta agree with that. I can feel that. Arrogance is having an attitude that you know it all, or that a piece of the information just isn't important. It reminds me of something that my father told me as a kid, because, you know, we talked about contracts and various things. He always told me that the devil is in the details. I'm sure y'all heard that before, that the devil is in the details. And so even of us growing up, I think we was in social medias and Facebook and Instagram, we pretty much were signing away our phone libraries because we weren't reading social media platforms and what we were allowing them to do, and they were collecting that data. And so we can't allow ourselves to be naive, to think that everybody has our best interests at heart. It's just not realistic. But we do have to humble ourselves. We do have to continue to learn. If you're able to learn from others, that's even better. Okay, good mistakes, bad mistakes. I don't know if it's good mistakes, but you know what I'm talking about. A part of why many of us don't want to learn, a reason why many of us don't push ourselves forward, is simply for the fact that learning requires us to then go back out and try. It requires us to then go out and make mistakes. You know, you keep trying, you'll fall on your face, but you got to keep getting back up and keep trying. And that's not always an enjoyable experience for everybody. But when you're in that winner mindset, when you locked in for a championship mindset, you never let those losses stop you. Who's to say? I mean, maybe you just got to go pick up Rich Dad, Poor Dad for yourself and see what other gems Robert has for you inside that book. If you're interested, go ahead and do that, right? I got a link for that in my description below. And so this is what we're doing. We are steadily building a recipe for success, y'all. I hope it turns out amazing for y'all. I believe mine will, God willing. I pray for all y'all love, all y'all happiness, all y'all abundance, all of y'all success, okay? I think that you will all find your way and figure it out, and I'm blessed to have maybe guided y'all in some way or helped y'all in some way. Continue to grow, continue to learn. We are in the age of information, right? And our possibilities are endless, all right? So I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for coming through and watching my breakdowns of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. We're gonna start plotting on our next book soon, right? And so I'm trying to think on what book I want to go ahead and break down and give knowledge nuggets for y'all. I think I know what I want to go ahead and get into next, but I want to see what y'all may be interested in. So I have Nipsey's book list in the description below. I want y'all to go ahead and tap into that, look through that, skim through that, and see what you may be interested in looking through, and leave a comment for me in the comments section. Tell me what you may be interested in on that book list. I appreciate all y'all, man. Y'all, it's love that you've been showing me, man. I pray that all y'all get it back in return. And I'm gonna go ahead and catch y'all on the next Brain Food Barbecue, you dig me? Pull up on the neighborhood, we gonna be getting into it, getting these knowledge nuggets out, you dig me? In the meantime, don't let any doubt, don't let any fear